Yesh li kol, as Yaakov Avinu says, the difference they say between Esav and Yaakov is Yaakov Avinu says, Yesh li kol, I have everything. His focus is on filling up and realizing how full he is, how full he is, how full I am, how much I have, and how everything that I have is within me. You know, a lot of times we feel empty. A lot of times we feel that I'm missing something, and I can't put my finger on what it is that I'm missing. And we go ahead and we could spend our time toiling and working to fill up this empty feeling that I have from the outside, from the chitzonius, from the outside. In benching we say, Osanu v'yes kol hashalanu, you all know this as growing up. Osanu v'yes kol hashalanu, commotion is baruch hu avoseinu, just like the blessings to our forefathers, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. What do we say after that? Bakol, mikol, kol. What does that mean? Bakol, everything, from everything, with everything. Kain yevarech osanu, so too God will bless me, all of us, with everything. Where's that from? So it's from the Torah. Because in this week's parasha, what does it say? Va'avraham zakein ba bayamim, v'Hashem beirach es Avraham bakol. Bakol, that's bakol. By Yitzchak, in Parshas Toldos, what does it say? It says, Vayechrad Yitzchak Charada Gedola, and he says, Vayomer mi'efahu atzatzai vayavali va'ochal mikol. I ate everything. I'm full from eating everything. And Yaakov, as I just mentioned before, Yaakov, when he meets with Esav, and he says, V'chi yesh li kol, I have everything. One of the challenges that we have, as I said, a lot of our chasing and running after things is to fill up this hole that I have inside of me. And each and every one of us have things that we feel like, what am I missing? Why do I feel this lack? Why do I feel this lack? The Ramchal in Mesil Zisharim explains, and he says it's so powerful. He says, the shalom and shalva, peace and serenity of recognizing that you have everything is for the malachei ashares. In the world above, in the spiritual world of angels, everybody feels they are exactly who they are. They're not jealous. There's no jealousy. I'm not looking outside of myself. Asher kulam smeichim b'avodasam ish al makomo. Everybody recognizing my place, what I have, is perfectly imperfect. All my imperfections, all the things that I'm missing, all the things that I think I need, that's exactly what I'm supposed to have. I actually have everything. The midah of kinah, of jealousy, as the Ramchal says, is very painful. The pasuk says, "Urakav atzamois kinah." What does that mean? It's rooted in your independence of who you are, because you could have everything. You could have everything because you do have everything. But what happens? You look over there. A guy goes ahead and he buys a new suit, and he gets ready, and he buys a beautiful new suit, buys a nice tie. He says, "Okay, I'm going to wear it." Takes a nice shower before Shabbos, puts on a little nice cologne or sprays some cologne, and he's all ready for his beautiful suit, his new suit, his nice tie, whatever he's wearing, it's all fresh, and he feels good about it. And then suddenly from a distance, he sees someone else wearing a brighter suit, a cooler suit, nicer shoes. His hair actually looks better than his hair. And suddenly what happens? What I have disappears. It disappears. I could have everything, but somehow it disappears when I look outside of myself. It's one of the reasons why I love doing Hilchos Lashon Hara and talking about not speaking Lashon Hara. Because it's not just, the Medrash about Lashon Hara says, Man boi chai, man boi chai. Who wants life? Who wants life twice? Because people think that Lashon Hara is about, oh, you did an Aveira, in the next world you're going to get punished, or whatever it does for you in the next world. Say, the tzaddikim say on the Medrash, it says, Man boi chai in this world. Your world will be miserable in this world if you're talking about other people. Why? Because the second I'm in someone else's business, I begin to suffer. I don't mean physically suffering. I'm talking about emotionally and mentally suffering. When I'm in other people's business, when my life is in someone else's business. So not only, it might be that I'm lacking something, but even if I'm not lacking something, the Ramchal says, Urakav atzomois kina. You're mitztayer. He says you're doyeg, you're worried, you have tsar, that even the tovo shebiyadai lo yahanuhu. I'm not even able to look at myself and see my beauty because I'm so busy in someone else's world. I'm living in someone else's world. Besides the fact that I can't do anything to that. I can't change someone else's world. I can't control someone else's world. But the avoda for a person to learn and for a person to begin to experience, not to look at other people, not to look at someone else, not to even look, not to even discuss, not to even think. You know, Baruch Hashem, we live in a society and we live in a time where everything is about what's going on in the world. But when a person learns to really appreciate, as it says over here, when a person realizes, Davar yeral rov bnei adam lu yedu v'lo yavinu ki ein adam noigea b'muchan lechaveru afilu k'malo nema. I've always asked guys this: are you jealous when you're playing basketball? When you're playing basketball, are you jealous of who's like the best player now in the NBA? Sorry to sound so like such a classic rabbi for asking that question.
Donovan Mitchell. Luka. Jalen Brunson.
It's not Brunson. Okay, bad question. Sorry. Caitlin Clark. Okay, we'll start with Caitlin Clark. I'll tell. It'll be easier. It'll be easier to start with Caitlin Clark, right? Is anyone, when you're playing basketball, are you jealous? Are you jealous of Caitlin Clark? The answer is no. You're not jealous of. Okay, is a bad example? I don't know. Okay. Are you jealous of a great NBA or WNBA star? You're not jealous. Why are you not jealous? Because they're out of your league. You're not jealous. You're not jealous of someone who's out of your league. You're jealous of the guy next to you. The reason you're jealous of the person next to you is because maybe I could have what no one's jealous of Elon Musk. Why? Because he's a gazillionaire. But you could be jealous of a millionaire. Why? Because I could become a millionaire. You could be jealous of someone who's got $10 million because I could become $10 million. You could be jealous within your boundaries of who you are. You're not jealous of someone who's out of your league. Says the Ramchal, the Ramchal says everybody's out of your league. The guy next to you is also out of your league. Because you are neshama, kishem, she'ein partzufeim, doimai zulazu. You're empty inside. You might be empty inside. You might be rotting, so to speak, inside. You know where that rotting comes from? Not from you. It doesn't come from you. It comes from when we neglect me.